Whether you've decided already that you want to use a prong collar for your dog's training, or if you're still trying to decide and do some research on whether or not you'd like to use a prong collar, hopefully the information that I'm going to share with you will help you make an informed decision and make the choice that's best for you and your dog and your training journey. One of the many reasons people opt for a prong collar in training is because they have a big or strong dog, a dog that they can't physically control on a regular leash, or a regular collar, a regular slip leash, or a harness. So they have a dog that's incredibly powerful and they need to be able to physically control the dog. Another really common reason people opt for the prong collar is because they don't like the idea of using an e-collar or a remote collar, shock collar as they're often called. I think that a prong collar is a great option for those who don't want to move into e-collar work. And I think that it's actually a great option for all dogs of all sizes, all strengths, all breeds, because it gives you a really nice way to give clear communication to your dog without having to be too overpowering or heavy-handed with your dog. When we decide to introduce the prong collar, one of the things that we're looking for is whether or not the dog is heeding or accepting, or if they're ignoring the leash pressure exercises that we're doing with a slip leash or flat collar or a martingale collar. So if your dog isn't responding to these tools, then a prong collar is going to give you a form of communication that's more understood by the dog. And the reason that I think that is because a prong collar kind of mimics the pressure that a mother dog would put on her puppies if she were giving a physical correction during the phase of development when they're weaning from their mom's milk but still with mom. Starts to give corrections to the puppies when they're overpowering, when they're being overbearing, maybe when they're being rude. And so the way that she does this is she'll put her mouth around the neck of the puppy very gently, not enough that she would be able to pick them up, but enough to kind of immobilize them and tell them, hey, that's enough, we're not going to do that. Right? And she'll hold that position until the dog relaxes, the puppy relaxes and submits to that. And so with a prong collar, we're kind of getting the same idea, right? Because we have these prongs that go all the way around the collar, and we're adding gentle pressure to get the dog to follow in the direction we would like them to go using the leash. And so leash communication is the first form of physical communication we're going to teach our dogs. If we're not doing food communication, if we're not asking our dog to follow a food lure, we're going to be using leash guidance, right? And the easiest way to do that, and also the least conflicting way, honestly, is to use a prong collar, because the amount of pressure that you'll use with a prong collar is far less than you're going to possibly need with a strong or large dog or a very exuberant dog on a flat collar. And with a slip leash, you actually run the risk, if the dog is too strong or too forceful, of collapsing the trachea as well, or completely cutting off the air supply to the dog. And so we don't want to do that if the dog is giving too much force when we're trying to give that leash pressure guidance.